Hello, this is a reading of Beowulf, version from Dover Thrift Editions, translated by Robert K. Gordon. Lo, we have heard the glory of the kings of the Speardanes in days gone by, how the chieftains wrought mighty deeds. Often Sildseefing wrested the mead benches from the troops of foes, from many tribes. He made fear fall upon the earls. After he was not found in misery, he received solace for that. He grew up under the heavens, lived in high honor until each of his neighbors over the whale road must needs obey him and render tribute. That was a good king. Later, a young son was born to him in the court. God sent him for a comfort to the people. He had marked misery of that earlier time when they suffered long space, lacking a leader. Wherefore the Lord of life, the ruler of glory, gave him honor in the world. Beowulf, son of Sild, was renowned in Scandinavian lands. His repute spread far and wide. So shall a young man bring good to pass with splendid gifts in his father's possession, so that when war comes willing comrades shall stand by him again in his old age, the people follow him. In every tribe a man shall prosper by deeds of love. Then at the fated hour Sild, very brave, passed hence into the Lord's protection. Then did they, his dear comrades, bear him out to the shore of the sea, as he himself had besought them, whilst as friend of the Scyldings, loved lord of the land, he held sway long time with speech. There at the haven stood the ring-prowed ship, radiant and ready, the chieftain's vessel. Then they laid down the loved lord, the bestower of rings, on the bosom of the barge, the famous man by the mast. Many treasures and ornaments were there, brought from afar. I never heard of a sightlier ship adorned with the weapons of war and garments of battle, swords and corslets. Many treasures lay on his bosom that were to pass far with him into the power of the flood. No whit less did they furnish him with gifts, with great costly stores, than did those who sent him forth in the beginning while he was still a child, alone over the waves. Further, they set a golden banner high over his head. They let the ocean bear him. They surrendered him to the sea. Sad was their mind, mournful their mood. Men could not tell for a truth, counselors in hall, heroes under the heavens, who received that burden. Chapter 2. Then Beowulf of the Scyldings, beloved king of the people, was famed among warriors long time in the strongholds. His father had passed hence, the prince from his home, until noble Helfdene was born to him. Aged and fierce in fight, he ruled the Scyldings graciously while he lived. 4 children sprang from him in succession: Hrothgar, prince of troops, and Hrothgar, and Helga the Good. I heard that Sigenau was Onella's queen, consort of the Warselfing. Then good fortune in war was granted to Hrothgar, glory in battle, so that his kinsmen gladly obeyed him, until the younger warriors grew to be a mighty band. It came into his mind that he would order men to make a hall building, a mighty mead-dwelling, greater than ever the children of men had heard of, and therein that he should part among the young and old, all which gave God. The young and old, all which God gave unto him, except the nation and the lives of men. Then I heard far and wide of work laid upon many a tribe throughout this world, the task of adorning the place of assembly. Quickly it came to pass among men that it was perfect, the greatest of hall dwellings. He whose word had wide sway gave it the name of Heorot. He broke not his pledge. He bestowed bracelets and treasure at the banquet. The hall towered up, lofty and wide-gabled, and endured the surges of battle, of hostile fire. The time was not yet come when the feud between son-in-law and father-in-law was fated to flare out after deadly hostility. Then the mighty spirit who dwelt in darkness angrily endured the torment of hearing each day high revel in the hall. There was the sound of the harp, the clear song of the minstrel. He who could tell of men's beginning from olden times spoke of how the Almighty wrought the world, the earth bright in its beauty, which the water encompasses. The victorious one established the brightness of sun and moon for a light to dwellers in the land, and adorned the face of the earth with branches and leaves. He also created life of all kinds which move and live. Thus the noble warriors lived in pleasure and plenty until a fiend in hell began to contrive malice. The grim spirit was called Grendel, a famous march-stepper who held the moors, the fen, and the fastness. The hapless creature sojourned for a space in the sea monster's home after the Creator had condemned him. The Eternal Lord avenged the murder on the race of Cain because he slew Abel. He did not rejoice in that feud. He, the Lord, drove him far from mankind for that crime. Thence sprang all evil spawn, ogres and elves and sea monsters, giants too, who struggled long time against God. He paid them requital for that. And that's chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Beowulf.